Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the quarantine vlogs. My name is Will. This is Enzo. Little guy's Lotus. Off. Seriously? Why would you lick that? Oh my gosh. Today, we're gonna talk about some things you can do with your pups during this time to keep both you and them safe. What in the world are you doing? Come on, Lotus. Careful, losing the traction. Oh, careful. How bad we getting? Yeah, could be wet, could be worse, could be better. Nothing the stick can't fix, apparently. So I was talking with my dad last night, and he just talking like, oh, how are things going? And I was like, you know, really hasn't changed my life much at all. Other than the fact that the wifey's working at home every day, most days I wouldn't even notice a difference. But it occurred to me that that's not the case for a lot of you. So I work from home normally, and the pups, well, obviously they can be without a leash. So I'm not really restricted typically by the times of days that I go take them to the park, nor am I really restricted to what parks I take them to. It's very easy for me to just go to a park at an inopportune time for most people, like right after the sun's coming up, and they can be free and it's not a big deal. I don't have to travel to a dog park or a fenced-in area for them to get all their exercise. However, I know a lot of you do, and that can be hard right now with social distancing. You can't just be ganging up at the dog park. Not Lotus off. Jeez. Not to mention, a lot more people are home. They're going to the dog park. I'm sure I drove past one. It looked way too busy than what it should be right now with social distancing. So I started to realize that it's probably really hard for some of you to relax, apparently. We're gonna attack. He's coming for you, Enzo. Oh, Enzo's gonna attack. Go on the offense. So one of the first things you can do is, and I've got it with me, is get a really long leash. Now this one's about 30 feet. Honestly, you can get longer. I'll link them in the video notes to I'll put a link to our Amazon store, and I'll put a section for this stuff. Actually, I think I already have a section. It's called On The Go. So I'll put them in there, or maybe I'll make a new section. I don't know. Regardless, it'll be there. Enzo pretends he doesn't see him. So you can come to a park like this that, you know, isn't fenced in. It does have the benefit of having partial fencing in some areas, which does actually help a lot. You could get, you know, longer leashes. That way, Lotus off. Go on. Jeez. That way you could let them run a little bit more free. And obviously it'd be a lot easier to get a hold of them. I'm not saying like if you do like a little short fetch game, you can throw it with this. You can, depending on how safe it is, I mean, you got to really use your own judgment. You could let go of it. It's still going to be easier to get a hold of them, obviously, when they're trailing along a 30-foot plus leash. But at the same time, if your pup is prone to run away, I would not do that, because they have a 30-foot tether on them that can get caught on who knows what and they could get hurt. So you got to know your pup at that point. Option 2, find an enclosed dugout, lock them in it. I'm just kidding. All right, for these next couple, I want to preface with saying that, you know, everywhere right now especially is got weird different laws going on and rules, so make sure you're following them. That said, if your dog parks are open, Lotus, what are you doing? No, we're not running around the pillars. No, because it's dangerous. I would go probably before sunrise. So pull out your phone, look at what time sunrise is. Like if you have an iPhone, you can just like swipe over to the right and it'll tell you. Be there about a half an hour before whatever that time is, because the sun won't be up, but there'll be enough light that you can see. What I found during this time is that a lot more people are at home. The parks are getting busier, but they're still not really getting busier in the mornings. Turns out people like to sleep in. Oh, go poopy, good boy. So if I was wanting to be able to take my dog somewhere where they could run free and have little to no other people around, I would go, like I said, be there about a half hour before sunrise. Now, it may be different. Maybe your dog park, for whatever reason, is busy in the morning. I suspect it probably won't be, though. Another thing I will add to not only the dog parks, but parks in general, is go when it's raining. I know it's gonna suck because you're gonna get wet and possibly muddy. You can tell by how muddy you are what lap it is. But I'll choose wet and muddy over exposing myself to potential sickness and by being around a lot of people. Also, I'd rather them get a little wet and muddy and know that they're safe. Like if you're going to a park that isn't fenced in, you're gonna use like the leash method or something. Seriously, Southwest, that's gotta be a Southwest. Freaking painted red on the bottom. And that's north, so it's Southwest heading northeast. Pretty certain. So yeah, if you want to see a park, any park, clear out quickly, wait for the rain. All right, another option you can do, if you have land that you own or rent where the landlord's okay with it, maybe even if you live in an apartment community, it's such a weird time, who knows? If you're friends with the people that run it, or you know, friendly with them, maybe you could even talk them into it, but that is, put up a temporary fence. I'll show you, I'll insert a clip here. My parents have done this, not because of what's going on, they just did this anyways. But you can go to like Lowe's or Home Depot, you can probably order it off Amazon. I'll look and see. If you can, I'll link it below so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You probably can. You could build a temporary fence and it's not that expensive, and considering the alternatives of your pup getting no exercise or being exposed to potential sickness and so forth, and by that I more mean you, because I don't think dogs are really that susceptible, but don't quote me on that. I am not a doctor. Rally is, but she's not available right now. So yeah, you could put up a temporary fence. It wouldn't have to be that big, or especially that wide. You could even go like longer and narrow, almost like a lap pool kind of concept, where you could, you know, maybe throw a little or something and they could run back and forth and just kind of burn off some of that energy. Then you're still able to go on your normal leash walk and so forth. Now, maybe some of these won't work for you, or maybe they won't work all the time, or maybe none of them will work. If you just have to have them on a leash at all times when you're out, and you can't go to the dog park, or you don't feel safe going there, which I don't blame you, longer walks are gonna be the answer, and potentially hikes. So again, you could get like one of these longer leashes and go on hikes. I probably wouldn't get one this long, maybe like 10 or 15 feet, just to give them a little bit more freedom to kind of smell and check things out. And you could go for long hikes, you know, hour-plus hikes that are gonna wear them out, or walks. There's just a lot of people out walking right now, so that can be a little awkward. Again though, if you go out at like that pre-sunrise, chances are you're still gonna have to do something with them later in the day. I couldn't go to a park with them and I needed to burn some energy off. I'd be getting up so that we're leaving the house just before sunrise, and got them on a leash, and we just go for long walks, whether that's on the sidewalk, at a park, or on a trail. Keep in mind that if you're going on sidewalks and stuff, I see this, especially for long times, like you gotta let them walk in the grass. Sure, they're gonna walk on the sidewalk sometimes, and that's fine, that's there's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna get in the dugout real quick. Well, Lotus is apparently gone off running. We're gonna get out in the dugout again. Lotus, come. It's far enough. Some jogger coming. Enzo, heel. See, I could just lock you in here. Let you guys work it out amongst yourselves. Heel. I could just put him on a leash, but it's just easy. Oh, I'm gonna have to now. There's some older guy walking. Sit. When we first got Enzo and started coming to parks more, I would see where dogs had gone to the bathroom on the sidewalk, and I didn't understand that. Like, I was like, what is wrong with these dogs? And then one day it finally occurred to me that there's nothing wrong with the dogs. It's the people. They're walking them on a sidewalk and never giving them any spot to go in the grass, never letting them be in the grass. So eventually they're like, I need to go. So do keep that in mind. Obviously, if you're out walking around, you gotta be on the sidewalks a lot, that's fine. But give them plenty of opportunity, very frequent opportunity to be in grass. So yeah, say pups gotta go. Yeah. This field is way too muddy, boys. Come on, heel. All right, and last but not least, don't forget about all the stuff you can do inside. Oh, the deer. Oh my goodness. The pup and deer. The pup and deer? You got a head tilt for that? Wow. Not only can you play games, but you can teach them things. You can do training. I know you guys have seen a lot of videos of us doing training. I'm sure I'll put some in here. We've had some of you guys send us some interesting things. I know like Sarah was teaching hers to balance on a ball. Lotus, can you balance on a ball? How about you, Enzo? Can you balance on a ball? I can find a big enough ball. Don't tempt me. You're probably wondering, why isn't he letting him out of the FJ? Well, that's because we're having our yard fixed. Because some puppers, pupper 1 and pupper 2 here, have completely annihilated our yard. So I don't want them running around in it. I haven't let them in it once. Now, obviously, indoor activities aren't gonna make up for the exercise of running and such, and they still need outdoor time, but it's something you could supplement. Maybe you make it to the dog park before sunrise and you get 10 minutes in before people start showing up or something. It's not a lot, but it's something, and then just spend the rest of your day being more creative with maybe you go for a short walk on a leash and maybe you do some indoor. So you don't have to do just one. You could do multiple a day, just little bits of them. Especially since most of you are working from home now. You know, you don't have to go for an hour-long park run or anything. You can do 10, 15-minute bites. They love that stuff. Yeah, so we love the short stuff. Yeah, we just love going. Yeah. So I hope you all found some usefulness out of this video, minding your social distancing, following the rules, and above all, staying safe. Appreciate you guys as always. Subscribe for more German Shepherd content. Hit the bell if you want the notifications. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow and live stream on Saturday. Right? Yeah? 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 I go boop you. I go boop you. Enzo, I go boop you. Boop you. Boop. Lotus, sit.